I went for a SME IPO roadshow. It was part of the IPO meet before the company gets listed on the SME exchange of NSE, which we call as NSE Emerge. So in this video, very quickly, I will tell you some of the takeaways from that meeting, which will inspire you and which will make sure that you get the confidence that you are in the right track, you are in the right course of company secretary. So this was a company which was getting listed on the NSE Emerge. So what are the main takeaways which I had, which is going to help you? So for all the students who tell that, sir, did you really go? So here's a photo to show that I actually went there and it was a great meeting. Why I did this is because some of the comments which students put is extremely negative, and I think we will take it head on. We will show proof for everything, because when we show data and proof, the mouth gets shut for all the negative people out there. So first takeaway is that there are going to be around 500 IPOs in the coming 1 or 2 years. When we talk about SME IPOs, SME IPOs 500 are in the pipeline. This is great news because the people who are going to help companies are company secretaries. In fact, even in our office, AAA & Co, we have helped a few companies get listed on the SME exchange, that is for emerging companies. Great. So who was there? Sir, okay sir, you went very good. Who was there? It was a great August gathering, because there I could meet merchant bankers to the issue, anchor investors of that particular issue, and most importantly IPO ready companies. So there were many entrepreneurs, many businessmen who had a good company, who had anywhere between 50 crore to 150 crore as their turnover, and they wanted to take it to the next level by going in for a NSE Emerge, or basically a SME exchange IPO. As you know, you have the SEBI main board, you have all your big companies like Reliance, Tata, all of them are there. But for smaller companies, SME exchange, because they are the backbone of India, if they want to grow, they need capital, and the capital markets are the best place. So the SME exchange is a great platform for them. So when I met all these three people, there are some common things which, as a company secretary, which I got lot of inspiration, and I thought as a student you should also know these things. So you know where I went and you know whom did I meet. And next important thing I want to tell you is a very interesting story which the merchant banker to the issue spoke. Amazing person, highly experienced. He has done more than 100 IPOs as a merchant banker, and he said that everyone was talking that India is a small economy. We took more than 40-50 years to just become a 10 billion economy. Then we took another 20 years to become a I think 1 trillion economy, something like that he told. And now within from the time we become 1 trillion till the time we become 5 trillion economy, it will be just 10 years time. So it's a very fast growth, and India is one of the few bright spots in the entire world where there is growth. And he said something very interesting, that is, if you take a look at countries where compliance is very high, one best example is USA, then you have Singapore. So there are many more countries, but he told these two countries where compliance standards are very high in these countries. So as the economy grew, as the compliance standard grew, as more and more companies became listed in these countries, the compliance was high. And when compliance is high, obviously company secretaries and compliance professionals come into the picture. In fact, in his speech, he also told that in a very funny way. He said that now it is difficult for us to get company secretaries. And mind you, this meeting has nothing to do with company secretaries. It is a company which is going in for a SME IPO, and the audience are nowhere connected to company secretary. There are no company secretaries there. You have investors, you have retail investors, you have anchor investors, you have merchant bankers, you have other companies who want to get listed. Those people are there. But in his speech, he said this, that means he is facing this problem whenever he is going for IPOs. They are not getting the right company secretaries, or they are not even getting the person who is qualified as a company secretary. Without company secretary, how will you have a company? You need to have a company secretary full time, correct? So even if you don't have before your IPO, but once it is compulsorily required. And this is what he told in his speech. So quickly I caught that. I said I should tell this to all our students. Okay. And what were the key important things? Skills of a company secretary are in high demand for the SME sector, IPOs, and general corporate work. This is what whoever I met, that is what they taught. The people who are like, I met one founder. He does a company which is around 40 crores turnover, and they have about 6 to 7 crore net profit, which is really good. It is really good. So he wants to go for a SME IPO, and he wants about 30 crores in the fundraising. He wants to raise 30 crore. And right now he is still a private limited company. So he doesn't need a full-time CS, and right now he doesn't have 10 crore paid up capital. So he was working with some practicing company secretary, he was telling me. And when I told him I'm also a PCS, when I told him, he said, okay, great. Now I'm so worried that who is going to be my full-time CS. So first I'm going to appoint full-time CS, then start my entire IPO work. It is not like suddenly or tomorrow I can go IPO. It needs at least 1 or 2 years to get prepared for an IPO, from your compliance, from your financials, from your business. You need to have that growth. You need to show the faith for the investors to invest money into your company. So he was telling me that compliance standards of India are amongst the best in the world thanks to SEBI. This is what all the merchant bankers who I met there, means it is one merchant banker firm, and all the professionals there, they were telling me. IPO pipeline in SME and main board is huge. That means there are so many companies which want to go for IPO, and even the market is ready with the capital. That, they said, is something which is very rare. Earlier there were so many companies which used to get undersubscribed. They never used to get people to invest. Now they're getting oversubscribed. So market has money. We need the right companies to go and raise that money. And this is great news for you and me who are in the company secretary profession. Demand for compliance professionals is rising. I met one of the person in the merchant banking team. His background was actually chartered accountant and company secretary, and he was in helping companies with the compliance and all the companies who are their clients, that is companies which they help them in listing. So that was his job. So when I told him, the first thing he told is, do you know any fresher company secretary or 2 to 3 years experience company secretary? Because we have at least 10 to 12 companies which are going for listing in the next 6 to 8 months. And we are not finding company secretary. This is the fact. So for all the students who are spreading negativity and spreading absolute nonsense with no base, I request you, please don't spread nonsense rumors without meeting the real people. Please go meet entrepreneurs. Please go meet IPO ready companies. Please go meet private limited companies. Go meet merchant bankers. Go meet anchor investors. Go to retail. Go see the SEBI website at least. Go see everywhere. And this is listed. I'm talking, and there is a separate world of venture capital funding, FDI funding, private equity. There is a separate world. Public market is what I'm telling you because I went for IPO meet. Private markets is a separate world. There you have so many more opportunities, especially for all the startups. You need a lot of company secretarial services. So don't spread nonsense without knowing the truth. So the biggest problem is there is nobody who is going to these places and coming and spreading the message, and that is why I am doing that. I am trying to do that job by whenever I meet, whatever I do, I want to share and show that this is the reality. The opportunities are there, whether it is litigation, whether it is IPO, whether it is venture capital and private equity market, whether it is general corporate work. There is lot of scope, and this is just company law, SEBI and FEMA. I'm not even talking about economic laws or the other areas which we have, which is a separate field, and arbitration, which is much more scope is there. Governance after listing means once the company gets listed, they need good professionals for governance. So 2-3 people were talking to me on how do we do that, how do we set it up. Listing is one event. Okay, you go and you list your company, but after that there will be so many challenges to go to the next level. And this is what I want everybody to understand. And the thought which I want to lead all of you is, let this small video inspire you. You have the potential. Today is the time you should study hard. The future is really bright. The opportunities are very, very huge. And this is my small effort to share one experience of my meeting in the IPO where I went. And I wish this inspires you. And this is the message for you. Please have a look at this.